Welcome to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. He has gray hair, he has a gray beard, and he wears glasses like the guy in the artwork. Oh, and the guy in the artwork is better looking. Now, here is Gray Hair Dave.
Well. Thank you, 11labs.io, for that nice introduction, which I wrote. I still love 11labs.io, folks. I tell you what, they are still fantastic. They are still fantastic, and I can't say enough good things about them. There's going to be a link in the show notes to 11labs.io. If you click on that and decide you want to use it, I am now an affiliate of theirs, so I would get a little bit of, maybe a quarter or whatever of whatever you're paying a month. Just a little bit to help me offset the costs of doing this show, which, I pay for I pay for everything. There's no advertising here. There's no sponsorship here. But anyways, I'm diverging into other areas I didn't want to diverge into yet. But yeah, thanks for being here. I made it back from Detroit, in the Detroit area. I was up for my sister-in-law's funeral. It was very nice. I admit that it was a sad occasion to have to go back and see people. I have to admit that I am very, very sorry that in the 19 years I've been in Florida, I've been back once. Well, now twice. And I have to stop that. I have to stop being selfish. People don't have to come and see me. I can go see them too. Probably easier for me than it is for them. And I'm single, it's just me. I want to go. I either drive or I get an airplane and I go. Get out of the airplane. I don't get an airplane because Gray Hair Dave don't make that kind of money. Although he wishes he did. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? But the trip back was pretty uneventful. Nothing like the trip up. It was funny. I told my brother that I'd spend the night on Monday, and I am very appreciative. And they showed me their new place, and Paul and I talked all the way up from Port Huron to their house, and that was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed spending time with my brother, and had forgotten how much I do enjoy spending time with my brothers, both, plural. They're great men. They're both good at what they do, and I'm proud as can be that they are my brothers, and very happy that they're my brothers. I cannot say that enough. I can't say enough for Tim's family, who met everybody who came in the door during the viewing, during the services. They were there. It was hard, and it's hard to lose your mother. I remember losing mine. They are older than I was when I lost my mom. So I understand what their plight is right now and what they're going through. But they're there for their dad, which is what they need to be, and that's what, and which I'm hoping that they will continue to be, and I know they will because they're good kids. And I keep calling them kids because they're young, but they're all in their 40s and late 30s and 40s. Let's not say late 30s. Let's just say 30s and 40s, okay? Because that makes me sound a little younger. Well, after dinner with my brother, I went and I got the hotel room by the airport because I was going to check my car in at 6 a.m. I wanted to make sure I had time, wanted to make sure I knew where I was going. Now, granted, I used to live in that area. I used to work at that airport. We'll go into that later. But the whole area has changed a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. So, I spent the night in another Comfort Inn. And another $25 fee just in case of incidentals. And you'll get it back just as soon as you check out. I told you about the budget deal, didn't I? Where the budget rent-a-car. Oh, it's another $250 on your credit card. Well, hold that. As soon as you bring the car back, the same day we'll get that money back to you. Come to find out later on their website, it says right there, it could take up to 7 days. They want their money right away, but they don't give it back right away. And that's not right. But to comfort in, I send out a gray hair Dave kudos, because when I got home that night, that $25 that I had given them as a, to hold on to for incidentals was back in my account. Good to you. You guys did really well on that. I'm very, very happy about that. You don't know how much at the end of a long and for a pretty much unhappy trip, the ending was better. I got to the airport, breezed through security. There was like 2 people in line ahead of me. We just kept moving. And this one was a little different. This is the one where you stand in it, in the x-ray. It's not an x-ray machine, in the magnetometer. You stand on these 2 yellow footprints on the bottom and raise your hands up over your head, and it takes a picture real quick, and off you go. And I thought it was going to take longer. It did not. And I got so lucky, folks. My gate was about 4 gates down from security compared to the 9,000 miles, which it wasn't 9,000 miles, folks. It was about half a mile on the inbound flight. And I was early, so I was able to go over to McDonald's there and grab a quick bite and go take it back. And it was great. I had upgraded again to Comfort Plus on my way home, and I'm glad I did. Nice family was sitting next to me, and the mother, once we took off and got up in the air where we could move around a little bit, she moved over to another aisle seat across the aisle so that we could spread out. The gentleman and wife had their 3 kids, in front of me, 3 kids. They were adults, all in their 20s, but they all were you could tell they're all well-traveled. And in fact, I talked with the gentleman, and they were kind of like visiting a lot of places in the United States. They had been in the Detroit area for something. They were going to Orlando for some fun for a week, and then they were going to go to California. So they were on vacation. They were vacationing, and they were just a joy to talk to. But we left a couple minutes late, and we got in a couple minutes early. I mean, who can complain? I got this great parking spot when I left, and so it was easy to get to. I was in my car after we landed, and we deplaned. I was in my car in 15 minutes. Now, you can't complain about that. That's just phenomenal. That's one of the things I really like about Orlando. Now, was it a little more expensive to park because of where I parked? A little. Either way, it was going to be $60 or $90 to be gone for a week. And it wasn't even a week, it was 4 days. 60 or 90, you want convenience? Sometimes $15 is worth the convenience, right? So it worked out just great. And then I went to the doctor when I got home because she wanted a blood draw. So I went home and I got some blood drawn, and then I went home for the rest of the day, and it was great. And then I wake up the next morning sick. Oh, yeah, between my back and my cold that I caught on a plane. You're in a tube with all kinds of people and all kinds of kids going to Orlando, and who knows what they've got, but I caught a cold. So it was fine. I would admit, I am going to have to go back to Michigan and do some more visiting where I have time and I have the energy, because there were friends who contacted me and said, hey, how long are you going to be in town? Oh, I'm just here for another day. And oh, that's too bad. We would have loved to have seen you. Would have loved to have seen them too. I did see my one friend Bill and his wife, and they're friends with my brother and his now deceased wife. It was wonderful to see them. We got to see my nieces and nephews and grandnieces and grandnephews. It was wonderful. Got to see my Aunt Connie, which I talked about. It was a good time, and it was a good time had by all, considering the situation. So that's what happened there, folks. When I got back, and in fact, I just noticed it today, so Doug, if you're listening, and thank you for listening, I just received your email today because I really hadn't been paying attention last week. But thank you for all you said, and yes, I'll be in touch. And Doug, you know who you are. Every once in a while, you wonder, you really, really do, if what you're saying and what you're doing is getting out there in the world when you're podcasting. And I've been podcasting for over 5 years, and goodness, it's coming up on 6 here shortly. But when you've been doing it this long, you wonder if people are listening. You look at your numbers, and you look at where they're from, and you analyze it, and it's not that it's confusing to me. I realize this is a very, very niche podcast, and my other one is not. Boomer Podcasters is more detailed. I'm getting back to it, folks. I've taken some notes. I was on an airplane for 2.5 hours. I had time to take some notes. So I did. And I want to bring it back. A couple of you have contacted me through my website and asked me to reply with things through WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp on my phone, folks. I do. As of right in this minute, I would rather reply through email, if that's okay with you. Send them again and send me your email. I've got your email address. I would be happy to apply or reply with that if you would still like that information. I'd be happy to help. So when it comes to podcasting, folks, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to have fun when I'm talking with you guys. But I'm also here to promote other things like Boomer Podcasters, which is where I teach and am willing to teach and show baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, how to do podcasting. And how to pick a niche, how to distribute it, how to edit it, how to start. Everything from the beginning to getting it out there in the world. Now, when it comes to the marketing end of things, I might team up with somebody else who's doing that very, very well. But for now, we're just going to get you to a certain point, and then we're going to help you market, but we'll get there. So there's that. There's also Gray Hair Productions, which is my editing portion of the deal, where I'll edit your podcast or your video podcast for you. I'll make clips. I'll do whatever you want. Take out the ums and the ahs, and I'll EQ it. I'll compress it where it needs to be compressed. I'll adjust volumes. I'll take care of the breaths. All those fun things for you. There's some cost there. So it's not for free. This is a business. And I tend to be reasonable, but I'm also not here to lose money. So just beware. If you're looking for some editing help, I'm here. And I'm probably going to be cheaper than a lot of people. But, as time goes on, I'm going to start raising rates. So that's something to think about. Get in while the money's that's expensive, because the rates are going to go up beginning of the year. I've already determined that. What else is going on? That's about it. It's nice to be back to work. I'm enjoying that again. Got a lot of ums today. I don't know where I'm coming from with all this. But here's what we're going to do next. We're going to pretty much say what we normally say here. We're going to say, folks, if you know somebody who doesn't know what a podcast is, do me a favor. Show them. Show them how to find podcasts. Pull their phone out in front of them, or their computer, their laptop, their iPad, their Samsung tablet, their Amazon Fire, whatever they got to do to find where the podcasts are. Show them what genres are available, because and use me as an example. Use 5 minutes of gray hair Dave as an example. Here, how you find 5 minutes of gray hair Dave, right? Or show them how the murder mysteries are out there, or there's ones about sewing, there's ones about golf, baseball, football. If they're into that, there's narratives. There's remember, this is not iBooks. This is not books. I'm not promoting that other thing that Amazon does with books. This is podcasts where people talk. And if they're interested in creating one of their own, I would be happy as can be to help them through Boomer Podcasters. So we're going to run through the websites really, really quick here. This one here is 5 minutes with grayhairdave.com. That's the number 5 minutes with grayhairdave.com. Next, you have boomerpodcasters.com. That's BOOMERPODCASTERS.com. And then you have grayhairproductions.com. Now, Gray Hair Productions has a contact me page, but they don't have the little microphone to leave a voicemail. Boomer Podcasters and 5 Minutes of Gray Hair Dave does have the little microphone in the bottom right-hand corner. You click on that, leave me your email, and you can leave me a voicemail. You have to give me an email either way, folks. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to. Give it to me. I want it. It's mine. I also want you to know I will not sell your email address. I'm very selfish. I will send you promotions once in a while on me, on my stuff. Because I do have merchandise, if that's something you might be interested in. I've still got a bunch of keychains and stickers and stuff like that. But I've also got t-shirts, which are really pretty nice. I've talked about those before. So there's those things. We've got those out of the way. Don't forget 11labs.io. It's a AI voice generating program where you type in what you want it to say, and it gives you options for all these voices. And it's something I use on every beginning now of 5 Minutes of Gray Hair Dave. So I'm quite long on this one, and I apologize, but as the time went on, I had more I wanted to get out. Folks, you all have a great day. Do me a favor and yourself a favor. Next time you're out and about, today or tomorrow, smile at somebody you don't know or smile at somebody you do know. You're going to make their day. You don't know what's going on in their life. You could really cheer them up. So on behalf of Gray Hair Dave, you all have a great week, a great weekend. I'll be back next week to talk to you. You all have a great one now. Bye.